The story begins with a woman named Sarah, who, along with her husband William, decided to leave the city behind and move to their family farm in South Africa. It was a big change for Sarah. She had always lived in the city, surrounded by the noise of traffic and streetlights. The quiet of the farm, with nothing but the sounds of nature, felt different, almost magical, but also a bit scary. As they settled into their new life, Sarah and William noticed that their old dog, a German Shepherd, wasn't enough to guard their large property. So they decided to get a new puppy. They named him Toby, and he quickly grew strong and healthy with all the love they gave him. Toby became very close to William, following him everywhere. But Toby was also a bit nervous. The wide open spaces of the farm were overwhelming for him at times, and he would get scared in the unfamiliar environment. Soon after Toby arrived, their older dog passed away, leaving Toby alone when Sarah and William worked around the farm. Sarah missed the comfort of the city, and the sounds of the African bush at night felt eerie. The cries of jackals in the distance only made it worse. Sometimes, when William stayed overnight on the farm, Sarah would lie awake, feeling uneasy alone in the dark. William knew that Sarah was feeling alone and wanted to do something to make her feel safer. One evening, he had an idea. When he came home, he asked Sarah to grab a few things from the pickup truck. It sounded like a strange request, but Sarah didn't think much of it and went outside. When she opened the passenger door, she was surprised to find a little female German Shepherd waiting for her. The puppy wiggled with excitement and licked Sarah's face, instantly stealing her heart. Sarah couldn't stop smiling as she picked her up. Toby, their old dog, seemed to like her too. They decided to name the new dog Cleo, and right away, the two dogs became best friends, bringing lots of energy and joy into their home. Over the next few years, Cleo and Toby grew very close. By the time Cleo was 3, she and Sarah had settled into a nice routine. Toby, on the other hand, still spent a lot of time out in the fields with William. But one day, as William returned from the fields, he asked, "Where's Toby?" Sarah hadn't seen him all day, and thought he was with William. Panic set in when they realized Toby was missing. Cleo had been acting strangely, and Sarah hadn't noticed anything out of the ordinary. They followed Toby's trail, and soon they found tufts of fur and blood near a snake's track. Their worst fear was confirmed. A snake had likely attacked Toby. Heartbroken, Sarah and William returned home, still reeling from the loss of Toby. William was furious, and the next morning he searched the area for the snake, but it had already disappeared. The following days were filled with sadness, and Cleo seemed off too. She was unusually sleepy, and didn't play or move around as much as she used to. Sarah started to notice something surprising. Cleo was pregnant. Toby's puppies were on the way. It was like a small part of Toby was coming back to them. Sarah and William made sure Cleo stayed close to the house, keeping her safe and healthy. They couldn't afford to lose her, or any of the puppies. They had planned to take Cleo to the vet just before her delivery, but puppies, like babies, don't always wait. One evening, after dinner out, Sarah and William returned home to find Cleo napping in her bed. But she wasn't alone. 2 tiny puppies lay beside her, and Sarah and William were shocked. Before they could react, Cleo stood up, pacing anxiously. They quickly grabbed the puppies to keep them safe, but moments later, Cleo gave birth to a 3rd puppy. The little puppy didn't move. William rushed to pick him up, rubbed his chest gently, and blew on his tiny nose. Miraculously, the puppy took a breath. He was alive. The family was filled with joy as Cleo settled down to nurse her 3 puppies, and the little boy puppy, who looked just like Toby when he was a baby, brought both happiness and bittersweet memories. For the next few months, the family found comfort in the presence of the puppies. They brought laughter and warmth to the house, helping Sarah and William heal from the loss of Toby. It felt like life was slowly getting back to normal. But just as they started to find peace, tragedy struck again. By spring, the puppies had grown and were full of energy, eager to play outside. Cleo, always the protective mother, kept a close watch on them. They usually played in a fenced area, but one day, things went wrong. While Cleo was distracted, something caught her attention. Maybe a strange sound or smell. Without her noticing, the puppies wandered too close to a huge python. Cleo immediately rushed to protect them, but the curious puppies didn't understand the danger and got closer to the snake. In a flash, Cleo tried to shield them, but she didn't see the snake coil around her until it was too late. The python struck, wrapping tightly around her body. Sarah, who was inside, heard Cleo barking, but didn't think much of it. When the barking stopped, a sinking feeling hit Sarah's stomach. She ran outside and found Cleo trapped, struggling to breathe, caught by the deadly snake. William, who was working in his workshop, didn't realize the danger until Sarah screamed for help. She was frantic, shouting at him to bring vinegar, but by the time he reached her, Cleo was already in critical condition. The python had a strong hold on her, squeezing tightly. The puppies, not knowing any better, barked furiously at the snake, but all they did was make it angrier. The python tightened its grip on Cleo and bit her in the process. Sarah's heart raced as she quickly grabbed the puppies and put them in a crate, not wanting them to get hurt. She yelled for William again, and he rushed to her side. The sight before him was every nightmare come true. Cleo was being crushed by the snake, and the puppies were helplessly watching. They had already lost one of their family members. Was another about to be taken? In a desperate move to save Cleo, Sarah and William knew they had to act fast. They poured vinegar over the snake's mouth, praying it would make it loosen its grip. To their relief, the snake stopped biting Cleo, giving them a chance to free her. Carefully, they started unwinding the snake from Cleo's tail, keeping its head away to avoid any more bites. After what felt like forever, they finally managed to get Cleo free. She was alive, but it was a close call. Though Cleo was injured, she was still alive. William and Sarah quickly rushed her to the vet, hoping for the best. After an exam, they learned Cleo had a few broken ribs. It was a relief they had made it in time, and they couldn't help but feel thankful for the puppy's early warning. Without them, they might have lost Cleo too. After a few days of rest and care, Cleo started to heal. The puppies continued to grow, getting bigger and stronger every day. Sarah and William were determined to give them the best life they could. The male puppy, who had formed a special bond with William, grew up to be as loyal as Toby had been, filling the hole in their hearts left by their loss. The snake, the one that had likely taken Toby's life, was captured and taken to a nearby shelter. There, it could live safely, away from their farm and their pets. It was the best decision for everyone involved. Life on the farm slowly returned to normal. But Sarah and William would never forget what they had been through. They had lost Toby, but gained so much more. With their new puppies, their family felt complete again. They had learned that love and determination could help them survive, no matter how tough things got. And family, whether human or animal, was worth fighting for. So, that's all for today. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on Wild Wonder.